They is not letting up on Tyra Banks.
You ready to hear some?
So we're getting yet another documentary about America's Next Top Model, and this one seems to be a little bit more telling.
I won this show, and I had gotten a phone call, and it was from Michelle Mock.
So I'm actually rewatching America's Next Top Model just for research purposes only. I am on cycle 7, and there's a lot. Looking at it, like she said, in today's lens, there is a lot that happened on that show, and not just from Tyra and not just from the Jays or Janice Dickinson. It was from everybody that was involved. I mean, a lot of these girls knew what they were getting into when they got into it because they watched the other seasons before that. The only people that probably didn't know what was going on or what was going to happen was the people on the first cycle, right? They was the fresh meat basically, and they didn't know what was going to happen. But everybody else that kind of joined the show subsequently knew that there was going to be a little bit of, fugazi going on. So on this E-series, Dirty Rotten Scandals, and it's going to be the American Next Top Model version, they are going deep into a lot of stories that some of the girls experience. And actually Janice Dickinson is on this. Some of the winners, some of the contestants are on this. There's actually one story on here where one of the contestants actually won. They filmed themselves winning and getting the modeling contract and everything, and they were called to a hotel and they were told, well, I'm sorry, we can't air you in the show because
you were engaging in sex work.
But this is not new in the reality show contest space. There's most of the time when they have like two people that are up to be the winners of whatever show it is, they film both of those people winning just so they can make those decisions after, like post. They don't have to make it like right then. They probably go through and do some vetting of the people that's winning and make sure they align with the brand, and they just air the one that is the actual winner or the person that they're going to give the actual prize. So make sure you go check it out. Dirty Rotten Scandals on E. It's going to be a mess.
Shaving the contestant's head that had alopecia never sat right with me. Now we're hearing more about that situation on the new America's Next Top Model documentary, Dirty Rotten Scandals. This episode is like grilled into my brain. I remember watching Gina be so upset when they were taking off her wig and shaving her head. And we're hearing Gina speak about her experience on America's Next Top Model, and I'm convinced that this is more sinister than I already thought that it was. When she became a contestant on the show, Tyra started grilling her for being on Playboy in the past, calling her a prostitute. She said that she told Tyra why she did Playboy in the past, and it was because she really struggled with her image because she has always dealt with alopecia since she was a little kid and had no hair and would wear wigs. And when she started to talk about these struggles to Tyra, she started to break down and cry into her hands. And she said that this episode was edited, and Tyra calling her a and calling her out for working at Playboy was completely edited out. And according to Gina, that wasn't the only thing that was edited out of her episodes. She said in the episode where they tell the girls they're getting makeovers, they edited that scene to make it look like she knew she was about to be bald, and she said she was told that she was actually going to be given new hair.
Gina, that wig that you have, you're going to have to say goodbye to her.
This is one of the reasons why we would see her breaking down so much when it came to them taking off her wig and shaving off the little hair that she had left on her head. She said that she felt caught off guard because she never agreed to this happening, but then she felt like she had no choice, and they tried to make it look like a very positive thing in the show. And she said this was the furthest thing from the truth, that she was really struggling back then and felt so small during this because she was not mentally ready to deal with this bald head. She said she would even go outside of her home to get the mail with the wig on. She would never take it off. She definitely wasn't ready for this to play out on national TV and have the world see her bald. And then after being a contestant for a while, Jenna would figure out that the sponsor for the first time ever that year on America's Next Top Model was a hair care company. It made no sense to her because she didn't understand how was she going to win when the sponsor was a hair care company. If she wins, how was she going to do a partnership with Pantene if she had no hair? And this part really left me shook because at this point it seems like you already knew she wasn't going to win the show because she had alopecia. alopecia. So you just purposely put her through all of this for what? I do want to say she was absolutely beautiful either way with this bald head, but I could only imagine having that trauma and not being ready to do this at all, especially in front of the whole world on national TV. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
She's doing really, really well, and she's making a lot of money. Like, a lot.
That is like the hardest shit ever for me to watch. Like, it still hurts. It's over 2 decades later, and all those lies still hurt.
Can't air you as the winner. And I was like, why?
And this is why I didn't post about the documentary on Netflix, because they did not talk about a lot of the things that happened. And I watched America's Next Top Model in its heyday. I was probably like 8 or 6 when it came out, and I was watching it till like 2016, and they just glossed over everything. And when they talked about Shandy's situation, about her sexual assault, there was no accountability, nobody. But Angelique's story is a sad story if you don't know. She won, and essentially they took back her title and told her because she had been engaged in sex trafficking. She had been sex trafficked. They said that she was in sex work, but she was being sex trafficked. That she can no longer be the America's Next Top Model, so they took back her title. So she won, and then they brought the other 2 girls who lost, and then did it that way. Also, they gloss over Jada. Jada was the young lady who, gorgeous girl, they cut her hair, and then they went to Spain, and then there was a Spanish male model who was like, I don't like black girls, and was making her uncomfortable, making racial remarks, and then she's like, I don't want to kiss him because he's obviously all racist. And Tyra was like, oh, I would have kissed him so good that he's gonna love black girls. And I'm like, huh? And yeah, were the judges, were the producers definitely at fault? But there were some girls on that show that even in the moment, even though like, oh, that's how it was, I was like, this is wrong. I remember Psycho 11, you had Isis, who was the first transgender woman on the show, and there was this one girl, I forgot who she was. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop this little he-she out the competition. And I mean, I was not very like well educated about LGBTQ plus IA people or trans people at all. And I said, that's a weird ass comment to be making. That sounds hateful. I think Cycle 4 they go to, or Cycle 5 they went to South Africa, and that was the year that it was Kenya, Brittany, Kaylee, Naima won, and they went to go see the cell that Nelson Mandela had been in for decades. And Kenya, a black woman, is crying. If you know about apartheid, if you know about racial injustice, she's crying, and Brittany's like, why is she crying? And that, why was she upset that she didn't get to open up the door? Like, just because you're black, you get to open up Nelson Mandela's door. And I was like, I don't know about if it was like on the wrong side of history kind of a thing, because even in the moment I was like, ugh. And I remember when Caitlyn got onto that shoot with the 7 deadly sins, and for whatever reason they had to have the girls in actual coffins, which I'm like, okay. And her friend had just died, and I'm like, guys, this show, it taught us so much. It taught us about smizing, it taught us about eating disorders, it taught us about a lot of stuff, but those poor girls were being tortured. But I am excited about this documentary, and I'm hoping that we'll get to like the actual nitty gritty, because essentially no one took accountability in that Netflix documentary. Not Mr. J, not Mrs. J. I'm glad that she's doing better. Nigel, none of them. Not a soul.
I remember when Winnie Harlow was getting dragged for saying that America's Next Top Model didn't help her career or any other model's career, that it was just a reality show. And after watching these new documentaries on America's Next Top Model, like the one that came out last night, Dirty Rotten Scandals, I think everybody owes Winnie Harlow the biggest apology. When she called out America's Next Top Model for just being a reality TV show, she ate down, because she said, that is not even what I signed up for. She's saying the same thing that we've heard so many of these contestants say. Winnie went into it thinking that it was an opportunity to advance her career as a model. Now we are hearing from so many contestants on America's Next Top Model that it actually hurt their career more than it helped it. A lot of these brands did not want to touch these models because they were on America's Next Top Model, and it was viewed as a reality TV show. Winnie said the only reason her career excelled wasn't because she was seen on America's Next Top Model, it was because the work that she already put in and people discovered her.
America's Next Top Model, you did great, but then you really broke through, and here we are.
So I really started after the show because that really didn't do anything for my career. Which it doesn't do anything for any model's career, realistically. But a photographer from London hit me up, major photographer, Nick Knight, and he was like, hey, I seen your photos online and I want to, do a shoot with you. It went viral and I got campaigns from there and it hasn't stopped since.
So was the show, were the opportunities that you thought were going to come from the show, it just never happened?
Well, that's why I went on, because I thought like that was going to be a career starter, but it was really like a reality TV show. That's not what I signed up for.
After Winnie said this on Andy Cohen, it went super viral, and you can just tell that Tyra was pissed. Tyra got asked a question about what Winnie Harlow said about America's Next Top Model by a caller that called in to Andy Cohen. You can just tell by Tyra's face, it put her right on the spot, and her response was just very awkward. Almost like she got caught up and she didn't know what to say, and then she tried to throw some shots at Winnie.
What do you think about model Winnie Harlow claiming that America's Next Top Model does nothing for any model's career and is nothing but a reality television show?
Oh yeah, she said that on this show.
Did she say that?
Yes.
I discovered her on Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, come on, I discovered her on Instagram, and she's on this show, so what do you think that means?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Must mean something. Yeah.
I have nothing but love for my girls, and my girls come from so many walks of life and so much pain and so much hardship and so much story. And a lot of times when people express themselves in certain ways, there's a reason.
Yes.
And I will respect her confidentiality in her life, but
I
have to give love to her.
You're so actualized, Tyra. I mean, love it.
They're all my babies.
Yes.
Even the ones that act out.
The whole, I'm not gonna mess with Winnie's confidentiality is wild. What are you even talking about? And that part was so weird that I could literally only think of two things when she's talking about confidentiality. So was she trying to talk about Winnie Harlow's psych evaluation? And did she list something personal that might have happened to her in her life? Are you trying to say that you're not gonna bring that up? And if so, why are you even saying that at all? Or I almost wondered if this was a shot to Winnie Harlow, because I assume she probably signed an NDA like a lot of the other contestants, because it was a really weird context for Tyra to say something about confidentiality. But it seems very clear that Tyra doesn't like anybody speaking out about America's Next Top Model, even though it was in fact a reality show, no matter which way you try to put it. Seems like a lot of these contestants, and even the very successful Winnie Harlow, said that they went into this not thinking that it was a reality TV show. They thought it was going to help their careers. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
OMG, why haven't we heard from Janice Dickinson? That's because y'all wasn't looking in the right place.
America's Next Top Model really tortured these girls for Tyra Banks' ego. Tyra had the ability to make or break you.
Oh, baby, because Janice Dickinson is speaking. So if you guys didn't know, about 3 weeks ago, well before the Netflix documentary, E! Entertainment stated that they are producing their own series. Now, the series is called Dirty Rotten Scandals. Oh, it's going to be good. Now, the series follows very prominent judges and contestants from America's Next Top Model. It also follows individuals who took part on the Dr. Phil show, as well as The Price is Right. Now, it looks as though the show is going to be hosted by Claudia Jordan herself. And in this opening scene, she says, "Y'all not gonna believe this ish." I am definitely seated because since that Netflix documentary came out, everybody has been on the internet underneath all of my posts like, where's Janice Dickinson? Why is Janice Dickinson not saying anything? That's because she's going to be on this show. Now, a lot of individuals were saying that, oh, Janice Dickinson was just this mean, evil monster, while other people were stating that she was actually supportive to a lot of the models on the show. Being that Janice Dickinson was simply a judge, she didn't really have a whole lot of control about what went on, but she did play a part in how a lot of those women's experiences were shaped. Now, this show premieres March 4th. Please, please, please make sure you pay your cable bill. And if not, don't worry, because we're going to review the entire series because I know it's going to be good.
I haven't seen the E! News top model thing yet, but Brandon from Front Page Pop just told me that Perez Hilton is featured on it, and I'm very upset by that because Perez was so mean to all of us when we won. When we were on the show, he would draw dicks on our faces. He called me fat. He was literally the worst person on the internet to the top model girls. So the fact that they interviewed him is wow. Like, he was part of the problem.
The new Top Model doc just aired, Dirty Rotten Scandals. Kudos to every woman in this documentary who shared their story, because it is so, so powerful. And gosh, it went so much deeper in episode 2 than I feel like I ever could have thought that the Netflix doc would. But my only gripe about the doc, why was Perez Hilton in it? Perez Hilton is literally the same, a different side of the same nasty, bullying, early 2000s coin that Top Model was a part of. So why was he asked to be on this, like, at all? Ugh, that's like the only thing that I probably would have just been like, take him out. Why is he there? Get him banned.
OG America's Next Top Model winner Adrienne Curry is opening up about the reopening of wounds after the latest ANTM documentary. Dirty Rotten Scandals premiered last night on E! In a special 2-part episode about America's Next Top Model and the dark secrets behind it. Now, it still felt a little rushed and skimmed on the surface. However, we did hear more stories from people and old interviews from Tyra and some other judges and producers that kind of exposed them even more. One of them was a clip from 2003 after season 1 about Tyra Banks talking about how successful Adrienne is and how much money she's making. Well, Adrienne, I guess this is the first time she saw this clip ever, and she was not happy about it because it's a lie. She posted on Facebook saying, "Look at Tyra lie about me having money. OMG, I bankrupted myself. I make more money selling Avon than I did even on VH1. She continues saying, "That clip made my face burn. It's so dishonest and downright cruel. We were emailing and I was struggling so bad, wondering when that Revlon prize was coming, anything. I can't believe I ever thought she was a good person." Side note, someone commented that Tyra said Adrienne, and Adrienne said, "No one ever says my name right." I don't know how else to say it. Adrienne? Adrienne. But anyway, after that, she did another post saying, "Man, this has been reopening some wounds I thought I'd healed. It was the greatest heartbreak of my life to be gaslighted on this level, to fall flat on my face, to see other contestants win and get the management I was promised. The worst was never having been able to pay off my mom's home. I make more money selling Avon than I did when I rebuilt myself on VH1. I couldn't find the comment again, but I did see that a therapist commented and was saying that just because the wound was reopened with something coming back up again, like Top Model, it doesn't mean that she hasn't healed, and I think that is totally true and valid. She also talked about how she feels vindicated that Tyra was caught lying on camera about all this stuff, and the contestants were sharing stories where they got gypped as well. Also, if you're a supposed fan or viewer of the show, and you're calling her out saying, "Oh, it's been 23 years, like, get over it." This doesn't mean she's not over it. She is just sharing her story at a time when it's more okay to even share. Plus, it's her life. She can talk about it however long she wants to. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments. Plus, be sure to hit that follow button for more celebrity and reality TV news.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Actually, it's quite amazing how it's quite amazing how, you know, I didn't know. If someone would have told me that another Tyra Banks documentary would come out, I would actually say, why are they actually bringing a new documentary? And was it the case of what maybe this was supposed to be the original Tyra Banks documentary, and what she had to do was, okay, why not sell? Because right now, guys, on Netflix there's the Tyra Banks, that ATM, American's Next Top Model, is on Netflix, and I do believe it has a lot with Netflix collaborating with her to do like a little bit of a controlled opposition expose. Because guys, if you watch that documentary, the way Netflix presented it, it was as if they wanted to do like this control opposition, and where they're trying to take into account of everybody's version that happened. But guys, if you look deeply into it, you would know that Netflix was actually taking a side, and that was the side of Tyra. Because if you now go and look like it was actually a business deal with Netflix. Because right now, guys, Tell me why America's Next Top Model is on Netflix. Tell me why. I think maybe he approached her, but maybe she decided to go with Netflix because, I mean, she gets 2-for-1 deal. She gets a documentary and also gets to allow Netflix to stream America's Next Top Model. Well, after all, I didn't, guys. The thing is, I really did not make a I don't know, guys. I don't know what has come over me, guys. For the past 2 weeks, I've been hella busy. I've been very, very busy with my work. You know, I'm a student. I go to school and everything. So I've been very, very busy with my work. I've not been really consistent with making videos and everything. But guys, if you truly want to see it, I was supposed to like make a video about the Netflix stuff and everything. But I've not been able. But guys, it's okay. I've not been able to like make videos and stuff, you know, for like very consistently. But guys, I'm getting there. Because I've been very busy with stuff and everything. I've just been very, very, very busy, guys. It's been very, very hard. I would say this almost past month, in terms of me putting out consistent content, has been very hard. Well, but going back to what I was saying, all of them, apart from the victims, which were the models, put all of the judges, including even the J. Emmanuel, including the other people as well, put them all in the trash can and throw it away, because they are all liars, guys. They are all liars, guys. America's Next Top Model, because the thing is, I actually live in the UK, and even when they tried the English Next Top Model, it really didn't pick up or go anywhere. But of course, because first of all, here in Britain, we do watch a lot of American TV, and most of the TV we watch is, of course, as I said earlier, is American. Guys, I was not even watching American TV, like America's Next Top Model, on the TV. I was watching it on YouTube. Guys, I would see the way they would talk to the girls. That was my first introduction to corporate, because I was watching it when I was 17. That's about, well, I'm not gonna say it out of my mind. About when I was 17, 18. Guys, I've never seen people be mean. I have never seen people be mean. Guys, they were mean to those girls. They were mean to those girls, guys. That was my first introduction into how someone can be fucking mean. Do you understand? That was my first introduction into how somebody can be mean. They were very, 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 very mean to them. They were very mean to them, guys. Forget about all those gibby bam bam stuff. They were mean people. They were very mean people, guys. They were mean, more than the word mean itself. They were mean. They are mean people, guys. They are mean people. They were very mean. That was my first introduction into mean people. I'm not gonna lie. It was my first introduction to mean people. They were just very mean in such a way that you will not even understand. They were mean, guys. They were mean. So all this blaming it alone on Tyra, and I'm not saying that they should not blame Tyra. They should also hold her accountable. But all this blaming it on people, and also with Janice talking about how, she was mean, she was nice behind the scenes. It's a lie from the pits of hell. Janice was mean and she was a fucking racist. She was mean and she was a fucking racist, and she was the first to talk about people's appearance. But I'm sorry, her appearance on that show was ugly as well. If we're going to go on appearance, excuse me, I'm even proud to even say now that maybe there have been evolution in the world of the plastic surgery and everything. It's now that her face is looking better because her surgeries are no longer botched, and of course she's gotten older with age. I would even say maybe she looks a little bit better than she looked when she was on America's Next Top Model. She didn't really look that good, and she had the guts to actually mock people. Go and see the videos on her mocking a girl who is actually more prettier than her in terms of America's Next Model. This is why I can't do this pretentious shit It was so crazy that they are trying to put it all on Tyra, and that's not to say I'm not saying that they should hold Tyra accountable. So all this rubbish of it was this and that, I'm just tired of it. They should they should keep on making more documentaries, but they should not put it all on Tyra. And all these judges coming out to speak against it, they also played a part in bullying those girls. They played a part in bullying those girls. Let's not even start it. Let's not start it. Let's just leave it there. Like, they played a part, guys. Go and watch it and see for yourself and see how J. Manuel, Miss K, and all those other judges were speaking to those girls. You feel pity for them. That's all I have to say, guys. If you disagree with me, please talk about it in the comment section. Thank you. Bye.